Okay, the last stage of the personal project is the reflecting stage. This presentation will provide you with information about reflecting on your personal project. In this stage, you'll explain the impact of your project on you and your learning, explain why you chose the project, what led you there. You'll evaluate your product based on the success criteria that you set at the beginning, and then you'll provide evidence and examples to support your reflection. So first off, evaluating your product. The evaluation is the basis for writing about the impact of the project and can help you select the evidence of the ATL skills development you'll include in your report. When you've completed your project, use the success criteria that you developed at the beginning to evaluate the extent to which you reached your product goal. Did you achieve your success criteria? Comment on each success criteria and describe the extent to which you reached each. State whether there were unexpected features that you achieved. For each criteria, you need to explain how you know you achieved that criteria and provide detailed evidence or examples. Here are some reflecting prompts. Evaluating your project requires you to make an appraisal of your project based on the criteria you set for yourself, weighing your strengths and your limitations. If you did not meet all your success criteria, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have not been successful overall. Were the success criteria too easy or too difficult? State that. What could you have done differently? Mention that. How did the ATL skills contribute to the success of my project? Choose those ones, focus on those ones you chose during the applying skills stage, and explain how they contributed to the success. And what was in my control? What was outside of my control? Those are all nice questions to get you thinking about evaluating your product. In order to systematically go through your success criteria and evaluate your achievement, you may want to use one of these examples here. Use a rubric similar to a rubric your teacher uses for assessing your work in class. Use a table with each goal and an evaluation of strengths and limitations may be helpful. Make a list of each goal with an evaluation of whether expectations were met or not, or use a traffic light type checklist that may help you with the evaluation. Make sure to provide evidence of the claim you make for success. For example, it's not sufficient to provide a workout video that's 6 minutes in length. You must show a screenshot showing the time of your recording. Surveys are a great way to show the success of your product. If you use a survey, you must also make an appraisal by weighing up the strengths and limitations. For example, you may, if your survey captured the right, you may discuss if your survey captured the right audience for your project, whether the survey would have changed if you would have asked more people, if you surveyed a different age group, or stated your questions differently. It may be worth discussing if you could have measured your success criteria in a better way. As you select evidence, choose the type that provides the best indication of whether the product goal was achieved. For example, images of the research paper, such as the table of contents, or a chapter excerpt, or a graph generated by a survey, all would be good evidence. Whatever you decide to use as evidence, you must explain how that shows achievement of your success criteria. Now we'll turn to evaluating the project impact. Reflective is one of the IB Learner Profile attributes. In the description of that attribute, it states, we thoughtfully consider the world and our own ideas and experience, and we work to understand our strengths and weaknesses to support our learning and personal development. At the core of the project lies the questions on slide 12. How have I changed? Right there in the middle. What have I learned about myself and about the subject? What skills have I acquired or improved? How have I grown as a lifelong learner? Answering these questions will help you reflect on the project's impact. You could refer to any aspect of doing the project: inquiry, action, and/or reflection. You could include progress made towards the learning goal. You could include ways in which you have grown as a learner, such as improved ATL skills or learner profile attributes. You could include ways in which you have grown or changed as a result of the project. The learner attributes and the ATL skills will be attached or in the reflection folder again as well. These are some reflection prompts that help break down the bigger questions into ones that may give you more detailed insight, like, has my research expanded my horizons? Has my personal project made me want to learn more about the subject or related subjects? During my research, have I found interesting resources that have made me want to keep learning, and so on. So those are some reflection prompts that may give a little more detail as you write your report. This Think, Pair, Share routine is a way to help you start reflecting as well with these questions. What did I learn since I started the project? What advice would I give to someone starting the personal project? And what am I most proud of achieving throughout the project? Because your personal project consists of a process and a product, it can result in a variety of impacts. So possible learning goal impacts would be demonstrating and developing specific ATL skills, extending your knowledge of an area of interest, gaining confidence by completing an independent project, and then possible product impacts, meeting a need in the community or showcasing your skills and abilities. So that's it for reflecting. The rest of this presentation is about writing the report. So on slide 18 here, we're going back to this same thing. The sequence in the report, you should report on this first, explain the impact of the project on your learning, and then evaluate your product based on the success criteria. And don't forget to provide examples that support your reflection. So this is just for the reflection part of the report. At the end of the personal project, you will submit a report with a section about this phase of the project. These last two slides, or next couple of slides, give information on addressing each strand of Criterion C, which is about reflection. So in the report, you will explain the impact of the project on yourself and or your learning. You'll evaluate the product based on the success criteria that you set at the beginning, and then you'll support your reflection with examples. And these two strands here are right from Criterion C. If you look at the assessment criteria that's in the one of the very first folders, you'll see these strands here for Criterion C. One is that you explain the impact of the project on yourself and your learning, and then the second one is to evaluate the product based on your success criteria and fully support that with detailed examples and evidence. So you can read through these descriptions here and make sure that you've done each of these as you write your report. So tips and advice: you need to provide a detailed account, including reasons why the project had an impact on you. You need to evaluate your product systematically, so show evidence that you went through each of the criteria and evaluated them in some fashion. And then if you choose to survey others for opinions on the quality of your product, you need to interpret that data and make an appraisal of the product's quality, again, by weighing the strengths and limitations. And then finally, we're on to the showcase, which I will have another video when it gets closer to the time of our showcase with more details on what you can expect at the showcase. And then we'll celebrate our projects in our individual advisories after the showcase, sometime in April probably. So again, if you have any questions at all, please seek out your supervisor, your advisory teacher, or myself, and all of us are happy to help you. Thank you.